I'm Tracy Baxter with today's Record Newswatch. Police in the area were searching for two suspects wanted for a shooting this morning near the Metro North train station in Otisville. It happened shortly after 10 a.m. Police say the victim was shot on Kelly Hill Road and was able to make contact with another man who was at the train station. That man called 911. The victim was airlifted to Westchester Medical Center. The suspects being sought were described as two black males who fled the scene in a gray Hyundai with Illinois license plates. This is Mount Hope Police Chief Paul Ricard.
At approximately 10 a.m., a little after 10 this morning, Mount Hope Police Department and the Mount Hope Fire Department responded to a report of a subject shot at the Metro North train station in the town of Mount Hope. Upon arrival of the officers, a victim was found with multiple gunshot wounds. The case is being investigated by the New York State Police and the town of Mount Hope Police. Currently, we are looking for a white or gray Hyundai late model being operated by two black males, one wearing a pink shirt. Suspects fled the scene towards the village of Otisville.
Blood was seen on the sidewalk near the train station. Metro North service has not been interrupted. The nearby Otisville Elementary School was put in lockdown while the search continued. State Police had scheduled a news briefing for this afternoon. Keep checking here at Record Online for the very latest information regarding the shooting in Otisville and the search for those responsible. Police today released the identity of the woman who was severely injured in the collision of a train and car late yesterday afternoon in Fort Montgomery. Police say 51-year-old Eileen O'Brien of Highland Falls was in a car that was stopped on the tracks at Mine Dock Road when it was struck by a CSX freight train. O'Brien was airlifted to Westchester Medical Center with severe injuries. The train was carrying mixed freight, including sulfuric acid. It remained intact with no leakage. Officials on scene said following the collision, the car was pushed about 350 feet into a train tunnel. Police are looking into the possibility that the incident was an attempted suicide. Orange County District Attorney David Hoovler was back in front of microphones in Goshen today, announcing details of another drug sweep that included the rounding up of suspects in towns, cities, and villages throughout Orange County. Taking part, local police agencies as well as the State Police Community Narcotics Enforcement Team. Look for complete information on the sweep here at Record Online. It comes at a time when law enforcement agencies from New York and neighboring states are coordinating efforts to attack the problem of ongoing heroin sales. Lawrence Brown has been placed on the most wanted list by the Federal Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. This at a time when the serial robbery suspect has been named in a federal indictment, charging him with his gunpoint robbery last November of a Rite Aid in New Windsor, where the store manager was zip-tied and the store safe emptied. Brown's also wanted for the April robbery at ShopRite in Newburgh, where 4 workers were held at gunpoint and again a safe was emptied. Brown is also considered a suspect in 2 other armed robberies as well as a kidnapping in New Jersey. The ATF is offering a $2,500 reward for information that leads to his capture. Anyone with information is asked to call the ATF tips line number 1-888-283-8477. It's a political rematch that'll be settled by area voters on Election Day. It's the battle for the 18th Congressional District seat, now held by Democrat Sean Patrick Maloney and previously held by Republican Nan Hayworth. Maloney unseated Hayworth 2 years ago, and both candidates have been on the attack, as evidenced by statements made during Monday's debate in Middletown. Times-Herald Record reporter Chris McKenna is following the race. He thinks voters believe jobs and taxes are the primary issues. And McKenna says at this point it's a tough race to call. Any sense at this point as to who might emerge victorious?
No, I'm not going to go out on a limb there. It's impossible to predict. The Sean Maloney's leading in the one poll that we have. That was 3 weeks ago. It's a month ago now, before the election, and you know, at the same time 2 years ago, Nan Hayworth was leading the polls, and she lost by 4 percentage points to Sean Maloney. So there's no way to predict how this turns out.
The full video interview with Chris McKenna regarding the Maloney-Hayworth race is coming soon here at Record Online. A violent domestic dispute in an apartment building in the town of Esopus Tuesday night has left a woman with a fractured vertebrae after she was repeatedly hit with a metal baseball bat. Responding Ulster County Sheriff's deputies say the victim was hit several times in the head and body and was being treated at Kingston Hospital. Deputies were later able to locate 44-year-old William Knox of Kingston, who's been charged with first and second degree assault, criminal contempt, and criminal possession of a weapon. He was sent to Ulster County Jail without bail pending a court appearance next Tuesday. Authorities say Knox had violated an order of protection that had been issued back in July. Police in the Village of Liberty recently paid a visit to all of the 19 registered sex offenders living in their village to verify residence and internet account information that had been reported to the sex offender registry. 5 people were arrested as a result. 36-year-old Darren Ort and 51-year-old Jerry Laux were charged with the felonies of failure to register and verify internet accounts. 3 others, 29-year-old Sean Berger, 29-year-old Paul Cox III, and 54-year-old Anne Marie Sasso, were charged with parole violation. Liberty Police Chief Scott Kinney said the operation was part of their effort to enforce a zero-tolerance policy when it comes to violations of the Sex Offender Registration Act. Meantime, in the town of Blooming Grove, police have arrested a convicted level 2 sex offender who had reported that he was living in Newburgh but was actually living in Blooming Grove. The matter came to light after town police responded to a domestic incident where 26-year-old Anthony Furden listed his address as Blooming Grove, where he had been living since September 1st. But he'd failed to report his change of address, according to police. He's been charged with a felony under the state corrections law. He was last seen by his fiancée October 3rd when he left to pick up a prescription for her at a local doctor's office. Keith Charles Feldman never made it there, and he hasn't been seen since. Now, City of Kingston police are hoping someone can help them locate Feldman, who's 52 years old, stands 5'7", 130 pounds, with graying hair and brown eyes. He was last seen wearing a charcoal-colored t-shirt, camouflage shorts, and white sneakers. Anyone with information on the whereabouts of Keith Charles Feldman is asked to call the Kingston Police Department. Their number is 845-331-1671. And some activity may finally be seen at the site of the former Apollo Mall in Monticello. Now that a contract's been signed with a development firm, Sullivan Properties Acquisition 1 has signed a deal to purchase the long-closed Plaza building and adjacent property for $600,000 from the Sullivan County Funding Corporation. The buyer is planning a multi-million-dollar rehab and remodel for future retail operations there. The contract closing is expected to take place in the next 3 months. Clouds are expected to bring a little rain along with them by late Friday. The clouds will be on the increase tomorrow, with periods of rain expected to arrive by late day or early evening. Temperatures Friday will reach the middle 60s. Saturday will be partly sunny and cooler, with the highs not expected to get much above 60 degrees. Well, stay informed by starting your day with the Times Herald Record. Stay connected to breaking news throughout the day right here at Record Online. For Record Newswatch, I'm Tracy Baxter.